Hey everyone, it's Miri Carbundance and we are here with what I eat now. This was on the 9th January. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if these videos help you. And this is the breakfast that I had. I was still in my family and... Is that right even? Yes. Yeah, I was just a little bit confused because I enjoy joining in and eating the bread and stuff and everything. Yes, so I was confused because I saw me eating like a muesli, so something that other people were not eating. But the thing is, this has a very specific reason, and that is because I made this the evening before, but I ate something else then. I decided for something else, No, so I ate what I showed the video before, but I made another one. This is the second bowl that I made, and I thought I would eat it, but I didn't eat it then anymore because we ate some cookies and some wine and Baileys and stuff, and I was full after the first bowl. So I prepared this, and actually I also poured a little bit of Baileys in it the night before, because that was another glass of Baileys that I couldn't empty anymore. So I drank the Baileys that you saw in the last video, but I had another one which I didn't drink anymore, and I just combined those two, and I actually had a Baileys muesli here for breakfast, and it was super yummy. This is whole fat dairy yogurt. I tried to just open the fridge and just shut off my brain and just go for what looks best to me. I try to be the 8-year-old Miri, and I added some tangerines and oranges. What else is there? There's peanut butter, but yeah, you see the Baileys, you see the yogurt, you see the muesli, it's just some kind of fruit muesli, and the Benstorp cocoa powder, and then you see an egg and you see an orange. It's such a bomb breakfast. You see the multivitamin juice there, and you see a coffee that I made myself with milk. Yes. The cake was just on the table, and I'll have some later in the day if I remember right. So this was another part of my breakfast. I took a white bun. For some reason, it still is a difference to my brain if I choose a white bun or like a darker, more whole grain, multi-grain kind of bun. And this is a very white one, and it's with regular butter and with bacon. And here is the egg. And it is, when I was starting my recovery, this was super hard for me because I had saved in my brain that this is supposed to be super disgusting. And I, like all of those vegans say, oh, this is hen's period, and it's the unfertilized menstruation, blah, blah, like hen's menstruation. And, I think Nico Rittner, I heard some people speak about it, that it's not actually the menstruation, but nevertheless, this used to gross me out, but only because my brain was grossed out. My eating disorder was grossed out, and like I was conditioned to believe that this is ugly, but it is not disgusting. It is natural. And I just, I'm not ashamed to say anymore that it tastes good and it feels good in my body. And I will actually make a video on how I justify eating what I eat when I think of the animals in a different video. And then, yes, there is the streusel, a crumble, I think you say crumble, the crumble cake. And actually, oh yeah, here you see it. This is also a cacao. My mom made it for me. It is whole milk and some cow tina. That's a very dark, special Switzerland chocolate cocoa powder. And it's super yummy. It's like a dark chocolate cacao. and like, yeah, cacao and milk, and that's super special for me. First, because my mom prepared it, I didn't have any control over it, and then second, it's just extremely yummy and liquid calories, and just, but it's so satisfying. And it's not right that these things don't satisfy us and don't fill us up. If anything, I just experienced the opposite. You don't have to eat volume. You don't have to just stretch your stomach in order to be satisfied and full. It just satisfies and makes you full in a different way, in a very different way. It feels different, but it's not any less intense or capable of making you full. Then this was lunch. We had, like, I had no, like, I was not in the decision making of what we make, and I think it was my brother's wish. And anyway, we had hamburgers and like a lot of buns, and then we had regular beef patties, and we had vegan patties. I don't know which brand it was. And I knew if I was gonna eat 2 hamburgers, I would eat one of those and one of those. But I knew that if I will start with the most scary one, and that is the beef patty. And I had a normal regular beef patty. And this is burger sauce, there's tons of ketchup and mustard on there, and of course the chips, and da-da-da-dum, this is so monumental for me. Like, this moment, yeah, there was Coca-Cola, like very regular, full sugar, and also caffeinated cola on the dish. On the dish? On the table. Okay, that was German. On the table. And I was just pouring myself, like, before anything in my head could even have anything against it, I was just pouring it in. You know, I'm just so into that. Just do something that you would do if you had never learned or had never been conditioned to anything in your brain. And so I just go with that, and that is what turned out. And that's the Coke, and it's super yummy. Like, I used to tell myself that I hate Coke. Who hates Coke? It's really yummy. And yes, I do also think that the Diet Coke kind of tastes alright. But this is much scarier because it's full sugar and it's liquid calories, and it's with a burger. Like, whoa! And it felt so liberating, so freeing to be able to do that together with my family. And I was actually cheersing with my dad. And we said to each other, this is a very rare moment. We haven't shared many moments of this kind where we were making cheers with Coke, and it's because of me. It's because I never drank that stuff pretty much since I was 14. And so that was so, and it felt so good. Like, nothing of the fears you have in your mind actually take place, like, actually are real. And yeah, you see the Coke there. And I actually added some cheese because I forgot to add that. And then when I was realizing that everyone else had some cheese there, I went back into the kitchen and I added the cheese. So this is, like, yeah, very much a fear food that I had. And it's with a lot of sauce. Also had some ketchup. So yes, and then we went home with the train, and I was super hungry before we went to bed. So you have to understand it was a really, really late day also. And just we did so much together as a family, and then I arrived back home, and this was actually when we were already, like, we just wanted to go to bed. But then I felt, before I went to bed, I'm like, first I realized, well, I'm kind of hungry, and I'm not going to bed hungry anymore. I just go there fully satisfied. And second, I was just already realized that before, also in the train, that I would still have to eat something, because we're not skipping anything anymore. We are just eating. There's no too much. And normally I would have eaten in the train, but we had to wear masks, and you're not you know, allowed to take it off at any time, like maximum because you're having to drink a sip or something, but not for eating. You're not allowed to do that. And so this was my dinner because I realized I would have had eaten a lot less than any other day if I didn't do it. And so I was really fancying this one. And also I just, because the eating disorder, you know, it's always like, well, but now that's natural if you don't eat anymore because you're tired already and circumstances just made it that way, that you're not there's no time to eat anymore and you're not really hungry anyway, and like this is natural. You're overeating now if you're eating now. And it's like, that's just when I just punched it into the face and I just had the cake, like the scariest thing, and it was screaming at me, but I was just blinding it out. And this is the crumble cake, and it's actually, if you see, it's a huge one. It's as big as my hand, and yeah, it's basically 8 pieces of cake that others would have had with their coffee. So that's a huge one. So I shut that that ED thought off pretty much. And it was so yummy because it's also from a bakery from my hometown. It's not like the supermarket stuff you can buy. It's like actually freshly baked cake. Really nice. Yeah. Okay, that's it for this video, and I see you next video where I talk about how I justify it. That, yeah, when I think of the animals, what I eat. Thumbs up for these videos if they help you. Bye bye.